From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
I'm Jonathan Amberian in Helena. Tim Sheehy, a businessman and Navy veteran, says he's going to seek the Republican nomination for Montana's U.S. Senate seat. I'll have a look at how it's shaping up to what could be a hotly contested race.
And the city of Bozeman is taking the first steps toward greater regulation of short-term rentals. Find out what's being done now and learn where the city is headed when it comes to vacation rentals. All right, 6:32 on this Wednesday. Jay McDonald, Matt Elwell. Chet, of course, going to be on the evening show.
Yes, so he refers to the dark side.
Yeah, well, I like to think about it like a neighbor. You know, he's going over to the neighbor's house. He'll be home sometime. But so if you need your fill of layman, he will be over on the evening show.
We've all had our fill of layman at some point.
How are you doing this morning,
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well.
A little bit of coffee does a lot of good.
It sure does.
This time in the morning, temperatures very comfortable, 40s and 50s. A little warmer this morning than it was yesterday. We've had some areas reporting some fog. We've seen some fog on a few of our iCams around the area. Looking out there, most of the showers are lingering just outside our viewing area. We will see these showers develop a little earlier in the day, widely scattered. Some brief heavy downpours for a few areas, a little rumble of thunder here and there through the afternoon and evening. We'll be watching that pretty carefully. Right now, the cloud cover is fairly thick in the Bozeman area. Mid to late morning, look for showers and thunderstorms. Today will be just a touch cooler, and then we're going to crank up the heat as we get closer to the weekend. I'm going to talk about that, your 4th of July forecast, in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Right off the top, the Bozeman City Commission is holding the first reading of a proposed ordinance that would make the city aware of short-term rentals by working with platforms like Airbnb and VRBO. MTN's Edgar Cedillo spoke with city leaders and community leaders who say that this is just the first step of a much bigger picture.
Soon is never soon enough.
This is a very specific thing. It's part of a larger discussion.
The city of Bozeman is proposing an ordinance which they say will give the city more leverage as to how many short-term rentals operate in the city.
To require Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com, etc., to require a license from short-term rentals prior to allowing them to advertise on their platforms.
Members of Bozeman Tenants United, which has been pushing the city to ban Type 2 and Type 3 short-term rentals, say that this is a step in the right direction.
It's a necessary first step.
Bozeman Deputy Mayor Terry Cunningham says that this proposed ordinance would require platforms to tell the city who is operating a short-term rental.
The difficulty is in monitoring and policing that. We found it to be very expensive, time-consuming, and so by putting that onus back upon Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com, etc., and making them prove that there's a valid license, that's going to be a much more efficient way of going about it than us having to, play catch up all the time.
The city says that their focus with this proposed ordinance is more along public safety for guests and those who rent out their homes.
But we think it's an important one because it requires, the basic things that we ask of short-term rentals, that they have the inspections, that they're properly licensed, etc. And to us, it's a public safety thing.
Cunningham says that starting here is a small part of a bigger issue as the city works towards addressing and tackling the housing crisis.
For the future of part of regulation of short-term rentals for most cities in town.
I think it's a necessary first step, for sure. I really look forward to how our city commissioners will take us seriously in this vote.
Now, important to note, a second reading of the ordinance will still need to take place in the coming weeks, and public comment will be taking place during that time. Edgar Cedillo will have more on that first reading tonight at 5:30 and at 10, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But on to the Montana politic news. Montana's U.S. Senate race is going to be one of the most closely watched in the country in 2024. And it's already beginning to heat up. Yesterday, a Gallatin County businessman joined the Republican field by challenging Democratic Senator Jon Tester. MTN senior political reporter Jonathan Amberian has more on Tim Sheehy's announcement and where the race could go next.
Republican Tim Sheehy officially announced he was entering Montana's U.S. Senate race on Tuesday morning. It followed weeks of speculation that he was preparing to challenge Senator Jon Tester.
Whether I was on the battlefield or in business, being at the right place at the right time to have maximum impact is critical. And, for me, I always want to do what's right for the country and what's right for our community. And clearly, a lot of people think that I'm the right candidate for this race. So we're here to get the job done.
Sheehy is founder, CEO, and an active pilot with Bridger Aerospace, an aerial firefighting company. He served 10 years in the Navy, including time as a SEAL team officer. In his campaign announcement, he criticized Tester and what he called, quote, the Democratic Party's agenda of inflation, open borders, criminals over cops, drugs and violence in our communities, and a woke culture. Montana's other U.S. Senator, Steve Daines, is chairing the National Republican Senate campaign arm, and Sheehy confirmed Daines had asked him to consider getting into the race. In a statement Tuesday, Daines said, quote, Tim Sheehy is a decorated veteran, successful businessman, and a great Montanan. I could not be happier that he has decided to enter the Montana Senate race. Sheehy may not be the last notable candidate to get into the race. A Politico article last week said Congressman Matt Rosendale is also planning to seek the Republican nomination. He previously lost a race to Tester in 2018. And while he hasn't officially joined the Senate race, Rosendale responded to Sheehy's announcement on Twitter, saying, quote, congratulations to Mitch McConnell and the party bosses on getting their chosen candidate. Now Washington has two candidates, Tim Sheehy and John Tester, who will protect the D.C. cartel. Sheehy told MTN he's prepared for however the race develops.
I got no problem with Matt. I've actually hosted him in my house for fundraisers. So he's doing a great job in the House. And my understanding is that's the job he's been elected to do. So if he decides to continue to do that, best of luck to him. And, we'll see what happens.
The Montana Democratic Party responded to Sheehy, who moved to Montana in 2014, by saying, quote, the last thing Montanans want in a senator is an out-of-state transplant recruited by Mitch McConnell and D.C. lobbyists. There's still a long way to go in this race. Candidates won't officially file for the ballot until January, and the primary is nearly a full year away at the start of June 2024. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Now focusing on the national scene, new money to help close the digital divide. Today, the White House announced significant investments across the country to help bring broadband to more Americans. The unveiling kicks off a tour for the administration to tout the president's economic agenda. Scripps News' Haley Bowl reports.
Every state will get a major injection of funding as part of the White House's broadband initiative. The president saying today it's his goal that everyone in the country be connected by 2030. The White House is rolling out what it calls historic internet investments.
What we're doing is, as I said, not unlike what Franklin Delano Roosevelt did. We brought electricity to nearly every American home and farm in our nation.
The administration unveiled the allocation of more than $40 billion in funding from the bipartisan infrastructure law that will be spread across all 50 states. Each state will get at least $100 million from the Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program. 19 states will receive at least $1 billion, with Texas getting the highest allocation at more than $3.3 billion.
I promise to be a president for all Americans, whether or not they voted for me or whether or not they voted for these laws. These investments will help all Americans. We're not going to leave anyone behind.
While the internet is a lifeline in modern times, the administration estimates 8.5 million households and small businesses are in areas without high-speed internet. Secretary of Commerce Gina Raimondo calls it a major step for affordable, high-quality broadband.
How soon will people see the impact? How soon will they actually have that access to internet daily?
Right away. It will take years, obviously, to invest $40 billion and connect every American household. But we aren't wasting time, and we've already started. We've already started an initiative in rural America. We've already started an initiative with the USDA reaching out to farms and agricultural properties throughout America on tribal lands. So people will start to feel this immediately, but we will stay at it over the next 4, 5, 6 years until everybody is connected.
The White House set a goal to connect everyone by 2030.
The two big problems are affordability, which is about 2/3, and access.
Evan Marwell works with states on how to effectively use money to close the affordability gap.
States have to really make good decisions about how they're going to spend all the money coming from the federal government. And to close the broadband affordability gap, one of those critical decisions is going to be to make sure that they identify and allocate funding to connect those low-income apartment buildings.
The announcement is part of a bigger effort to highlight President Biden's economic agenda and kicks off another round of the administration's Investing in America tour as it touts Biden's economic plan as a winning and working strategy for families.
You hug a mom who's crying because her kids don't have the internet and she's worried. My kids are falling behind. My kids are behind a grade level. It's not fair. I talked to a small family farm owner in rural North Carolina. He spends hundreds of dollars a month for the internet, and it's not reliable. It shouldn't be that way in the United States of America, and it won't be that way when we're done with our work.
States will have 6 months to submit their initial proposals for how to use the funding and will have to coordinate with local governments. Haley Bull, Scripps News, Washington.
Definitely more to follow on that. Okay, we're going to take a quick break here on Montana This Morning, but when we come back, why now might be the right time to get a gym membership.
I'm John Matarese. During the pandemic, many people gave up their gym memberships. But I'll tell you why this summer may be the best time in years to get back into a gym. That story coming up.